delegate assembly. So it's a great event, and I strongly recommend it.
The mayor's going to be there tomorrow.
The mayor will be there. We found out last week the mayor is coming. The idea is to have public officials come and give them an earful of our concerns.
Thanks, Mayor.
Brother joys and concerns in our hearts. Amen.
Justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and for prosperity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
And in this setting, presumably people negotiated for what they wanted, giving something, receiving something, in the end, supporting each other and at peace with each other. 1 week after this first Burgess meeting, a ship landed in Virginia bearing 20 kidnapped Africans who were sold into slavery. Slavery used violence to take from people their labor, families, lives. Thus, in America, was an original moment of representative government dealing in trades and mutual support alongside violent taking and the opposite of support. And it continues, trading and taking, support and denial of support. For many people, a government that takes makes sense. Taking it all promises more material gain than trading. And taking has been a government job for millennia. Politicians show their wish to take in a few ways. In the perennial war, taking requires they express hostility toward others and paranoia. They also lie. Indeed, as Aeschylus observed, in war, truth is the first casualty. This lying is not a flaw, but a feature. Wanting it all, they don't compromise. Abraham Lincoln described the no-compromise slave-holding South as seeking either to rule or ruin. Takers praise taking, dismissing trade and compromise as wimpy. Taking politicians also emphasize tribal identity. We are the superior tribe. They are inferior. Therefore, we have the right to take and to make them suffer. And finally, taking politicians emphasize chaos and conspiracy, suggesting the only one to fix these out-of-control problems is an autocrat. The autocrat's real agenda, of course, is to take from their own country. Voters who favor taking hear these signals, recognize the politicians who favor taking, and vote for them. I'm constructing a polarity, but I don't see it as that rigid a polarity. I mean, there's a little trader in the takers, seen when they have to trade and negotiate amongst each other. There's a little taker in me. I mean, sure, I'd like all the money in the universe. Nevertheless, the better angels of my nature lean me into supporting people and trading such that everyone's needs are met. As president, I will continue expanding the support America offers to everyone. Selective support hurts us all. Those who have support fear losing it. Those without support are rejected and abandoned. Support for all, we can lounge around the campfire, smoke a peace pipe, and enjoy contentment. Supporting and trading are American traits. They're built into our Constitution. When George Washington welcomed the peaceful transfer of power to the second president, John Adams, it was a move away from autocracy and toward democracy. The Lincoln administration expanded government support to black people by abolishing slavery. Theodore Roosevelt supported workers by fighting business monopolies. When women won the right to vote in 1920, government widened their support to include them. The Franklin Roosevelt administration fashioned government as a support for people hurting from the Depression. In 2015, the Supreme Court supported gay people marrying. Next, we support everyone. To support people, I'll form 2 new departments: One, the Department of Democracy. This department will contrast democracy to autocracy. And so on one hand, we have democracy, that form of government which best supports people's prosperity and flourishing through trading for what we want. On the other, there is autocracy, that form of government which supports the autocrat's prosperity by taking. The Department of Democracy will promote equal influence in our government. For instance, 2 senators represent the 600,000 people of Wyoming, and 2 senators represent the 39 million people of California. I envision the Senate representing everyone equally, such as by giving California 11 senators, Wyoming 1 senator to share with Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. The Department of Democracy will support voting rights, ease of voting, the impartial drawing of congressional districts, the popular vote for the presidency, and political campaigns that are publicly funded. To support full representation in government, the department will support changes in primary elections. Currently, primaries draw the most partisan voters who elect partisan purists who, to please their partisan base, decline to compromise. Instead, the Department of Democracy will support ranked choice voting, which tend to elevate moderates into leadership. The department will also support primaries in which voters of any party can vote for candidates of any party. And to win such a primary, candidates would have to appeal not just to their partisan base, but to everybody. To heal our country's racial divisions, I'll create a second department, the Department of Racial Justice. This department will acknowledge the ill effects of slavery and colonization and their legacy in a hierarchy in which some take from others based on race. Acknowledging such a truth is like an accurate diagnosis, and an accurate diagnosis guides healing. To heal further this race-based taking, the department will promote the equal valuing of all people. As president, I will support other supportive policies. Here are a few. I will support a healthy climate by supporting the shift from the burning of fossil fuels to electrification powered by renewable resources. I will support Ukraine, a stay against autocratic taking. I will not force pregnant women to give birth, an involuntary servitude to a fetus. I'll support public safety by treating gun ownership as similar to automobile ownership and use, with attention to safety. That means training and licensure for gun owners, rules for who can own a gun and where people can use guns, technology that prevents a destructive use of guns and limits to the lethality of the guns people can own, like no assault weapons. I observe that something difficult to give up once helped people survive. In this case, guns, I think once helped white people take from and then survive reprisals by indigenous and enslaved people. So somewhere in our muscle memory, people equate guns with survival. Maybe also as American demographics shift, such that by 2045, white people will become the minority in America. They fear that what they did to people of color will be done to them, and so see guns as protection. I'll support immigration. To reach America requires determination. The "you can make it here" idea attracts people who offer us their determination as they create businesses that benefit all of us. I'll support greater economic equality. Equal societies are happier and healthier. Unfortunately, between 1963 and 2012, we became less equal. The richest 0.1% of Americans went from holding 10% of America's wealth to 22%, an increase of 12%. During that time, the bottom 90% went from owning 35% of America's wealth to owning 23%, a decrease of 12%. Some taking has occurred, leaving the 90% discontent. To support all Americans, I'll support policies that support everyone's financial security, such as a public health insurance option. So if, say, a third of our country, 100 million people, bought into a public plan, we would have bargaining power to lower what we are charged by profit-taking medical providers. Plus, with a public option, people would not be beholden to exploitive jobs for their insurance. I'll propose a public bank. Today, people who have less have to pay more for check cashing and other financial services. A public bank could offer free banking. Plus, it could offer microloans at low or no interest to people wanting to free themselves from poverty by starting a small business. Bank branches could locate in America's ubiquitous post offices. I'll support lowering housing costs by increasing supply. I'll offer more support for housing insecure families and their children. In 2020, we spent $53 billion on housing vouchers for the needy, while giving away $193 billion in tax breaks to homeowners. To prevent children from suffering the suffering that accompanies homelessness, I'll boost the housing vouchers to match the tax breaks. I'll work on healing our divisions in America. Trust in each other is low, but when we are in awe of how amazing we are, people support each other and work together. To generate such awe, I'll tell stories disseminated through the media of Americans performing in ways that are awesome. Here's an example. At a softball game, Western Oregon University playing Washington State, Oregon's Sarah Tukulski, not known for her hitting, powered the ball over the center field fence. On her home run trot, the excited Tukulski missed first base. As she reversed to tag first, her right knee gave out and she fell into a heap. The rules prevented her Oregon teammates from intervening, except to substitute her with a runner at first, giving her a single, not a home run. As they prepared the substitution, a Washington fielder, Mallory Holtman, asked, "Excuse me, would it be okay if we carried her around and she touched each bag?" The umpires agreed that the fielding team could do that. Holtzman and shortstop Liz Wallace lifted Tukulski and began a trip around the bases. Holtzman recalled, "We all started to laugh at one point. We'd get to a base and Sarah would gently, barely tap her left foot, and all of a sudden we'd get the giggles." Holtzman continued, "It's one of those things that I hope anyone would do for me. She hit the ball over the fence. It seemed the right thing to do." Reaching home to a standing ovation from the fans, Holtzman and Wallace passed Tucholsky to her teammates and resumed playing the game. These are Americans supporting each other. They're fulfilling the purpose of our country. People engaged in support of each other make me pause in awe. This awe comes from witnessing and appreciating something that transcends me. A human family generous in love and support. The support I witness supports me, and I pay it forward, extending to others my support and love. Indeed, in awe of the love I witness, I am motivated to support you and everyone else, and to lead us all in mutual support. One of the ways the congregation supports each other is by pooling our resources to allow for the programs and building to exist, and so we will now take the offering. Okay. I'd like to sing together a closing hymn, America the Beautiful, which is in your order of service. Kind of reflects America as a place of aspirations and beauty and imperfections. So we sing together. Thank you, Barbara, Fern, Keith, Larry, and all of us for participating in the service today. May we go in peace. And as we extinguish this flame in the order of service, we extinguish this flame, not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.